and it is an honor and a privilege to introduce one of them right now. Tammy Duckworth, who... needs no introduction, but I'm going to give it briefly. Canada right now in the Illinois 8th seat, I know we're going to win because we could not have a finer candidate. But when we talk about the service and sacrifice of us, no one embodies it more than Tammy. Helicopter pilot in Iraq who left her 2 legs there, rebuilt her life, and stood up and decided to serve this country again. Veterans Affairs for the state of Illinois, and just recently wrapped up her service as the Assistant Secretary of the Department of Veterans Affairs, working again day in and day out for us. And we know we're going to see her in the halls of Congress real soon. Tammy, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Well, what a great crowd, and thanks everyone for coming out. And you know, we couldn't be more right. This is time to get to work. It's time to get some action going. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what this president has done from the day that he became the junior senator from Illinois. That's when I met him. People ask, how did you get to know Barack Obama? Well, I was a patient at Walter Reed, and there were so many dignitaries coming through. And those of you who've been wounded and laid in a military hospital sometimes know about this, especially the Iraq and Afghanistan vets. And a lot of folks who came to visit us weren't really there to visit us. There were people who had sent us to war without the adequate funding we needed, without the plans, and didn't listen to the commanders who said it's going to take 300,000 troops in more than 2 weeks. Right? So these folks would come through, have their photo, and they would keep on going. It was so bad we started calling it the amputee petting zoo. Because that's how they were using us. You would, next thing you know, you would find your photo with some politician in some flyer, and nobody would ever talk to you. But there were a few people who came through just for us. And you could tell, because when they came through with a staffer with a camera, it was a Polaroid, and they gave you the picture at the end of it. And when they came through, it wasn't when there were people around. And there were folks like Max Cleland who came through. And that's I don't remember the Republican name, but he was there for us. Bob Dole came through and was there for us. And then there was Barack Obama, who would come through on nights and weekends and sit in your hospital room and listen, because he was on the Veterans Affairs Committee, and his heart broke every time he came, and he wanted to do better, and he has done better, and he's lived up to his commitment. In fact, he doesn't call it a commitment to military members and their families. He calls it a covenant. He says America has a covenant to keep with her military families and her military men and women, and we are all dishonored anytime a veteran must sleep on the very same streets he defended. And that's why we're working on veterans' families. He's passed, helped push into law, caregivers legislation that gives our family members who do so much a little bit of a stipend when they have to quit their jobs to take care of their wounded, and give them a little bit of money so that they can have some relief and have a day off from caregiving so that they can then come right back a day later and get right back to work. Caregivers legislation did not happen until Barack Obama became president. But we have a long way to go, and it could not be more clear than it is right now when you have 2 opposing budgets. When you have the budget the president put forward that continues to give the Department of Veterans Affairs some of the largest increases we've seen. In fact, it was under Barack Obama that we got the largest increase in veterans benefits in 30 years. It was under Barack Obama that our Vietnam veterans finally are recognized as having pre-existing conditions for Parkinson's, heart disease, Lou Gehrig's disease. That didn't happen until Barack Obama became president. But on the other side, You have the Ryan budget that does not mention the word veteran even once in that gigantic document. Not even once are veterans mentioned in it. Do you think that we're going to get the support that we need for veterans and our families? No. I doubt it. So we have a real choice to make, and we have a lot of hard work to put in front of us, because, you know, I think about my buddies. I only came home because my buddies looked at me, realized I was dead, and still weren't going to leave me behind. I didn't come home under my own power. I came home because some amazing young men went back and carried me out and gave me a chance. Now, I was, that morning, the highest ranking person in my crew. I was a pilot, and I was the highest ranking. At the end of the day, I was the weakest link in my crew, and I had to be carried out. You never know in your life whether today you're the top 1%, or whether you may need a helping hand to set it up in your life. Let's be there for this president and do for him what he can do for us, what my crew did for me. They carried me and got me home, but it was my own hard work that got me walking again. Barack Obama is trying to give us that opportunity through the programs, through the efforts, through the fights that he is fighting for us. But he can't get there without us on November 6th. So let's do that. Let's give each of us a chance to build the future that we need to build, help our veterans come home and build their future, support our military families, and let's make sure that we never forget the sacrifices of the men and women who've worn the uniform of this great nation going back. You know, we are still paying benefits to 2 children of Civil War veterans in this country. There are 2 children of drummer boys. 2 drummer boys who, one in Tennessee, one in Texas. The children are now 100 and something years old. Barack Obama is keeping promises that Abraham Lincoln made to veterans.
Thank you.